Have you ever been told you're avoidant, anxious, or some combination of attachment styles? Maybe you've even started to identify with these labels, thinking, this is just who I am. But what if I told you these labels aren't permanent? What if they're simply a starting point, a guide to help you understand where you are now so you can move toward where you want to be? Attachment styles describe how we connect with others based on patterns we learned in childhood. They were first identified as a way to help us understand relationships, but somewhere along the way, they became labels, boxes that people think they can't escape. Let's break them down. Avoidant attachment, what it looks like. You might feel uncomfortable with emotional closeness, pull away when things get too intense, or rely heavily on independence to avoid vulnerability. Why it happens? It often stems from a childhood where emotional needs weren't consistently met, teaching you to rely only on yourself. The truth, avoidant patterns can shift. You can learn to feel safe with intimacy and connection. Anxious attachment, what it looks like. You might fear being abandoned, crave reassurance, or feel overly preoccupied with your relationships. Why it happens? This can come from inconsistent caregiving in childhood, where love and attention felt unpredictable. The truth, you can build self-trust and inner security, reducing the need for external validation. Disorganized attachment, what it looks like. You might experience a mix of avoidant and anxious behaviors, feeling both a fear of intimacy and a fear of being alone. Why it happens? This often develops in environments where caregivers were both a source of comfort and fear, leading to confusion about trust. The truth, healing is possible through learning to trust yourself and others in safe, gradual ways. Secure attachment, what it looks like. You feel comfortable with closeness, trust your partner, and maintain a healthy balance of independence and connection. How it develops. Secure attachment is built through consistent care and emotional safety. But here's the good news. It's not limited to childhood. You can cultivate secure attachment as an adult. The problem with labels. Here's the issue. While these descriptions can help you understand your patterns, they're not your identity. They're not who you are, and they're certainly not a life sentence. Labels like avoidant or anxious can make you feel stuck, as if you're doomed to repeat these patterns forever. But that's simply not true. Healing and growth attachment styles are learned behaviors, and anything learned can be unlearned. Through healing, self-awareness, and practice, you can rewire your patterns and move towards secure, healthy relationships, transparency, and growth in relationships. Once you've started to recognize your patterns, one of the most powerful things you can do is communicate them. Instead of creating confusion in your relationships, where someone feels ghosted or left in the dark, you can practice transparency. Imagine saying to someone, I've noticed I tend to need space when I feel overwhelmed, but it's something I'm working on. It's not about you, but I want to be honest so we can navigate this together. Or sometimes I get anxious in relationships and seek reassurance. I'm working on building that security within myself, but I want you to know where I'm coming from. This kind of vulnerability isn't easy, but it builds trust and understanding. And if you're unsure of your patterns or why you act a certain way, start with self-reflection. Ask yourself how you react to stress or conflict and where those reactions might come from. Therapy, coaching, or healing work can help you uncover those answers. Why this matters. Without awareness and communication, attachment styles can create cycles of miscommunication and pain. But with transparency, you can take responsibility for your growth, break free from those cycles, and build relationships rooted in trust and mutual support. How to start healing. 1. Challenge the label. First, remind yourself, I am not my attachment style. It's just a description of my current patterns, not my identity, not my future. 2. Explore the roots. Attachment styles often develop in childhood based on the relationships you had. Working with a therapist, coach, or healer can help you understand where these patterns started and how to shift them. 3. Practice new patterns. Healing happens through action. If you're avoidant, you can practice opening up, even in small ways. If you're anxious, you can practice self-soothing and building internal security. Change happens little by little. 4. Seek safe relationships. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries, encourage your growth, and create a safe space for you to practice new ways of being. 5. Embrace inner healing. Inner child work, energy healing, and self-compassion practices can help you meet the emotional needs that weren't met in the past, allowing you to release old patterns. You're not your past. Your attachment style doesn't define your future. You are a dynamic, ever-evolving being capable of healing, growth, and secure relationships. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress and self-discovery. So let's break free from the labels. Let's look at our attachment styles as tools for understanding, not boxes to live in. You're not stuck. You're growing, healing, and creating a new story. The first step, believe it's possible.